We already know that commas and semicolons can be used between items in lists. Another way of punctuating lists is with bullet points. A bullet point is a mark, that's usually a circle, that is placed before each item in a list, where each item on the list starts on a new line. Take a look at this example. Notice how we've broken some grammatical rules here. The first is that we've used a colon after something that isn't a main clause. This is only okay if we're writing a list with bullet points. Another rule we've broken is that we haven't used and before the final item in the list. Again, this is alright when using bullet points. Finally, we haven't used a full stop to end the list. Again, this is okay so long as the items in the list aren't full sentences in their own right. Let's keep these rules in mind as we see if we can rewrite this sentence using bullet points. There will be plenty to eat at Ben's party. Cheese, pineapple, jelly and cupcakes. It's clear that we've got 4 items in our list, so we'll need 4 bullet points. Each item goes next to a bullet point, but we'll need to remember not to include the word and before the final item, as it's not needed. Nor will we need the full stop, as the items in the list aren't whole sentences. Finally, let's think about how we'll introduce the list. In the first sentence, we have a colon coming after a main clause. There will be plenty to eat at Ben's party. However, we know we can break this rule when using bullet points with a list. So let's shorten this main clause to Ben's party food. This gives us a clear introduction to the list, followed by 4 clear items in the list. What about doing it in reverse? Let's see if we can take this list that's made up with bullet points and write it without bullet points. Well, we know each item in the list will be separated by a comma, apart from the last item where we'll use and. We'll also need a full stop to end the sentence. So that's all fairly straightforward. But how will we introduce the list? Well, we're going to need to write a main clause to go before our colon. Obviously there are lots of possible answers, but let's go for today there will be 4 lessons. Perfect. So our list now reads, today there will be 4 lessons. Science, maths, English and French. Remember, when using bullet points with lists, place a bullet point before each item in the list, starting a new line for each item. We can introduce our list with a simple introduction, which doesn't need to be a main clause, but can still be followed by a colon. Finally, we only use full stops if the items in the list are full sentences.